Hi everyone, welcome to Widener University and your very first course in the online program uh, and Canvas. Maybe some of you are familiar with Canvas, maybe you're not. So I thought I would give you an overview of the course, a couple of reminders about how to work in the course, and then go over what we'll all be doing on week one. Okay, let's do this. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Widener University and your very first course in the Masters of Social Work program. I'm Dr. Ginny Folk New. You're welcome to call me Ginny or Dr. New or Professor New, whatever works for you. Talk a little bit more about that in my introduction video, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'm making you this video to give you an overview of the course, what the focus is, and what some of the assignments are, along with what you will be doing in week one, okay? Every single course is set up in the same way. So what you see now is what you're going to see in every course that you take. It does take everybody a couple of weeks to kind of get used to moving around in the course. Okay. So this is the home page. Hopefully you had orientation, just in case you didn't. I'm going to put this in student view because then we'll actually see together what you would see. Well, maybe I'll put it in student view. There we go. Okay. So there's your view of the course isn't quite as messy as mine is. And as you can see, there's a description of the course here. And then there's a list of things to do. Okay. There is, well, maybe there's not. Thought there was a calendar. Let's see if this calendar works. We'll find out. Here we go. 5:03. Okay. So down here, there is your very first assignment that's due at the end of week one. Oops. No. Sometimes my computer decides to do things. Anyway, so you could just go to the calendar and click on this course. You might have a calendar for each one of your courses, although majority of the students take one course at a time, though I know that some of you might be in the dual degree program and you would be taking more courses. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. There we go. So most of what you're going to be doing in the course is going to happen in modules. Well, there's also announcements here. There's no announcements yet. I have announcements set up so that they are timed and they will reveal themselves over the next several days as you, or maybe they already have, depending on when you're watching this video. And now if you want to go to announcements, though, this only allows for 3 announcements to be at the top of this page. Sometimes there's other announcements that you need to go back to, and you can do that by going to announcements here. This is just an overview of the syllabus, but this is where most of the action in the course happens. Here are where you will go to look for your grades and any feedback on assignments. And then these are the people who are in the course. So if you want to communicate with somebody, you'll use the inbox in Canvas and you'll be able to talk to them that way. So let's go to the modules because, as I said, this is where all the action is. So here's just some background information. When is work due? You do want to go through each one of these and beginning your studies, start the course. You're in a master's program. I don't think I need to go through each one of these. But if you can't figure something out, then please let me know. All right, so here are all the assignments in the course and videos. So it looks like there's a lot of assignments. There's not as nearly as many assignments as you think. Here is very important how to access my feedback. And at some point, I will offer you a bonus point to find some feedback. Put some feedback on a paper and say, email me the statement that you find that's not related to the paper at all. And I'll give you a bonus point to use on any assignment that you choose. You have discussions each week. Occasionally there are two. This is a video that I've made for you about the discussions. This is the written information. So you might say, well, you know what? I'm in an online program. Why do I need to watch videos? If we were in class together, I wouldn't just rely on the syllabus, hand you the syllabus and say, here, figure it out. I wouldn't do that to you. I would be in class and I would explain to you little things about the assignments, tips and tricks and hints that sometimes students miss. So the videos are pretty short. This video won't be as short as I'd like it, but I'm going to show you a way to, so let's do this. Form grading. Okay, so these are videos that I made for you about process notes, one of the assignments. Takes a second for them to load. Uh-oh, no. Looks like something broke. Don't you hate when that happens? No, nothing broke. All right, so this is a video. The videos are really easy for you to access. They'll all be right here on the page. There are several of them. I'm not quite sure why some of them aren't being here. But if they're still not there, I'll go and check them in my area when I finish the video and make sure that they are there. If not, I will put them there. Okay, so I talk kind of slow and I want to make sure that I clearly explain things. And people process information differently. So some people need kind of slow as you go, and other people need something that they can handle something faster. So let's say you want to watch this video and you'd like something faster. You can go here to the playback speed and you can double time it. You can 1.5 time it, and then you'll hear, if you can't hear what I'm saying, then maybe it's going too fast. Okay, so there's a few videos here. I just want to emphasize these are about process notes, and they focus on elements of the process note that sometimes students don't always understand. They'll get in and they'll start talking about roles, and it's not really the roles that we're asking you about. These are the roles. Okay, so there's two ways to move around in the course. We might use the next button. This is the the written description of the process notes in general. You have 4 process notes to write. Each one is a little bit different, so the description for the week that you're working on is actually situated in the week where you will complete it. I'll show you that in week 1. So here, information about assignment rubrics. Here's formatting your process note. Formatting does count in graduate school. We want to make sure that everybody can understand what you're trying to say. And especially your faculty, you'll get a better grade, honestly, if you pay attention to organizing the way that you format your assignments. Now, let's go back to modules. Another way to move around in the course. So you'll see that there's an instructor video for each one of the assignments. Besides the process notes, there's an emotional intelligence paper that's kind of part 1, and then here is the next steps paper. This is part 2, and it's an extension of your own personal examination of your emotional intelligence This paper is about what are you going to do about that and planning for the future as you work through the program. There's small group work in this course, and so there's a presentation about your instructor. That would be me. Student lounge, a place where you can talk to each other. Information about Zoom. Here's week 1. So you'll notice that, and each week is set up the same. Will be my video that I will make you each week. So let's start with this one. This video right now is not here yet, but I did post a video about how you could be successful in the course. This video will be there then also. Okay, just an overview. I don't find that list all that helpful to work through. Here are the learning resources. These will always be your reading assignments and the videos for the course. And the reading assignments are all here. You don't have to buy a book for this course. So everything is hyperlinked here. You just click on the link and it takes you to the reading. Make sure you read about plagiarism. That's very important. Here's Daniel Goleman talking about social intelligence. So the whole course, interpersonal processes, is focused on you developing your awareness of yourself and others in relationship. So how do you relate to others in a group? How do you observe others in groups relating to each other? And so there's things that we need to do about focusing in on ourselves, reflecting on ourselves. How honest can you be? So social intelligence, Daniel Goleman, you'll see more about Daniel Goleman soon. All right, how to work with Zoom, your Widener email account, some practical things at the beginning of the course. Checklist for Zoom, you can read that on your own. Okay, so for small group and dyad meetings, this reminder is in every week. So I'm just going to make you my pitch, and you're probably going to hear it over and over again. My pitch to you is use Zoom from the very beginning, because you have to use Zoom for your final presentation with your group, okay? And you don't want to try to start learning Zoom in week 5. And let me tell you, the course goes by really fast. 7 weeks goes by super fast. You don't want to learn how to use Zoom in week 5. You want to start using Zoom early on. You have some dyad meetings. You'll meet with a partner, one person, to have some conversations. I know that's kind of seems counter to an online course, doesn't it? That you have all this like interaction work. Social work is all about interaction. And actually, the courses that I've ever taken that were online, and all the courses that I teach that are online, students like it a lot better when they feel like they're engaged with other people, just as you would be if you were in a classroom. And I think I mentioned this in the introduction video. If you're not really liking people, social work might not be the career for you, okay? You might want to rethink that. You don't have to be like I'm a pretty shy person socially, but I still like people, all right? I might be awkward at interacting with people sometimes, but I still like people. Okay, let me just go back and give you an overview of everything, and then I'm coming back here. So week 1, week 2, introduction, learning resources. Here's some videos to watch, the reminder that's in every week. And then here is a discussion. And then each week there'll be a post for your small group, but your small group doesn't meet for the first time until week 2. Here are instructions for a dyad exercise or exercises. This is an upload area for an assignment, a written assignment. Same thing. So you'll see here getting started, group dynamics, nonviolent communication, use of self and communication. So we offer you a range of approaches to use in tricky situations, in maybe with conflict, or where people are not comfortable talking aloud about what their thoughts and feelings are. We offer you some ways to approach those situations, and you will be able to use these in your final presentation. Finding common ground, another strategy for resolving conflict. And then here we have, well, we focus on freedom writers. And then week 7 is just all about your presentations. Okay? My voice is a little funky today. All right, so we went through learning resources in week 1 and Zoom and the reminder. So let's look at what your activities are in week 1. Another tip for working through the material, you're at home, and the good news is that you have the flexibility of stopping and starting things. So you might watch something for 10 minutes and then take a break. Nobody will ever know. That's the beauty of all this. On the other hand, with everything that's going on, for instance, with COVID, some of you might have children at home, and you'll need to have more flexibility in how you organize your day. All right, do you need time to help your children through their lessons for the day before you actually do what you need to do? And there are ways that you can work ahead. So the course usually opens the Friday before the Monday that the course starts. And you see things you want to start working on, go for it. The only thing that you cannot work ahead on are response prompts. So your initial posts, you could do them the week before. Whenever you have time, you can work on those. In this case, there's no response that's required, but when there is a response required, you need to make responses between Thursday and Sunday, even though the instructions are going to say Friday. I just happen to know from teaching for years and since the online program started that, there's a lot of competing forces in students' lives. And when you sit down and you are able to make your post on a Thursday, you can't get it done before that, then you may as well go and see about making responses on that day too. So Thursday to Friday, or Thursday to Sunday is fine. If for some reason you actually need to respond sooner than that in the week, just email me. If it's not an every week thing, I'm good for that. And the reason why we do that is we want to make sure that everybody gets a response. Because in this course especially, we're looking at making sure that everybody is seen and heard and known. Okay? All right, so that's the grading rubric for the discussion. I don't use the rubrics, I just grade them, but they give you some guidelines about what will happen if something's late or not turned in. Okay, icebreaker discussion. There's directions here for using Screencast-O-Matic, which is a free tool. It allows you to make up to 15-minute videos, but for your introduction, just make a video that's 1 or 2 minutes, because it would be great if everybody in the course could take the time and watch the 1 or 2 minute videos to get to know everybody who's in the class. Some of those people will be in your small group. One of those people will be your dyad partner. So, depending on the number of people in the course, right now there's 15, which is a pretty, 20 is usually the most that we have in a course. So 15 is a good number. And you will be introducing yourself. It helps to say where you're from. I like to know that. I like to know how many students are. You can just say the state that you live in. You don't have to identify your city or your address or give out any personal information, but it really does help me to know how many students I have that are on the East Coast where I am, as opposed to the West Coast, or even in other countries. I've had some military personnel who were in other countries. Yep. Their days were upside down compared to what everybody else was doing. A little bit about your work experience, something personal, anything that you feel comfortable sharing. I do that too, just as a way to kind of set the tone. And how you feel about starting the online program at Widener. Then we encourage you to speak slowly. Now you'll notice that you can see me pretty easily, and that's because I have lights on. So let's just see what happens if I turn out the lights. It's not so easy to see me. So you want to make sure that when you set yourself up, that there is some light and you're not completely in the dark. We'd like to know who you are. Okay. You will respond to one classmate. You'll look for somebody that does not have a response. That this is true for every week in this course and every other course that you take. And that in this response, you're going to write about what shared interests or shared anxieties are you seeing amongst your classmates. There will be anxieties. This is your initial post is due by Thursday at midnight, and the follow-up response is due between Friday and Sunday, but I'm good with you posting on Thursday. And responding on Thursday. Geez, what is going on? Okay, so oh, interesting. Where does it say? Oh, for this post, sorry. There is a video link, and a response would be between 75 words and 150 words. There is a word range that's set for when you write a discussion post. Here is my video. As you can see, I'm standing in my upstairs office, and I don't know why it captured me with my mouth open, but just know I've gotten to the point where I don't remake videos anymore. You'll see me mess up, you'll see me hesitate, and then I'll just keep going, because making videos over and over again, it just takes so much time. So I encourage you not to do that too, okay? I don't know why that says that there's comments there, because normally what you would do to reply to my video, if you decide to do this, is hit reply here. You're not writing comments in there. You're writing comments down here. Okay, I'll fix that. No problem. And then post your reply. Okay, cancel. All right, dyad activity. So in week 1, you are going to sign up for your availability. And you're going to, if you don't live on the East Coast, you're going to calculate what time it would be on the East Coast, so that we're all looking at everything in the same time frame. If somebody from the West Coast, and I don't know they're from the West Coast, says, hey, I can meet at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but really here it would be 9 o'clock in the morning, there'll be a problem for you and your dyad partner. So you'll try to sign up for your availability as soon as possible. And I will create the dyad partners and your small groups. And I try to keep your dyad partner somebody that would be separate from your small group. Okay? So in this case, you're going to, I will post a list by the end of the day on Wednesday. And then you can reach out to your dyad partner and schedule a time to have a conversation. This is just to get you started. Can you use Zoom? How does it go? That kind of thing. And then in the conversation with your partner, you're going to discuss your experiences that brought you into the program, what kind of work you hope to do with your MSW. You will jot down some notes because when you complete your process note that's due by Sunday of week 1, you want to be able to add this information into a brief summary into the process note. There's videos for the process notes, okay? I showed you some of them and the ones I might have to fix. Okay, here's the availability poll. It's called a survey, so you'll take a survey and you're going to pick, it's going to give you all kinds of days and times. If it turns out that one of the students, one of you, chooses a day or a time that literally nobody else does, then I will reach out to you and say, hey, would any of these times work for you? So lots of times people are available during the day, during the week, and there's not generally a lot of people that are in that situation. So then your dyad partner might be somebody that I can match you up with somebody who's there during the day, during the week, but sometimes not the group, okay? And then finally, here is your process note. So for week 1, you want to follow that format. And then you want to watch the video by Dr. Barol about process notes. A couple of points I'll make right here. You want to use headings for everything that you do. This needs a title page and headings for every place that you speak, that you address things. Content. What did you talk about with your dyad partner? Not how you felt about it. Just what did you talk about is the content. Your response and the dyad effect, that is the process. And the process is, how did you feel? So this is just what happened, and this is how did you feel, okay? Now you're talking about how did you respond to your dyad partner. So how did you feel inside when you were working with your dyad partner? And then how did you express yourself outwardly? So you might have been a nervous wreck inside, but outwardly you were calm, cool, collected, okay? Then how did the dyad interaction affect you? Again, how did you feel about it? All right, large group will always be the discussions that we have during the week where everybody is posting. I got an itchy, scratchy back. It's getting on my last nerve. Okay. So large group process. Reflect on the introduction videos. Did any of your peers move or validate you? In what way? So let's say you posted and then you responded on Thursday, but nobody posted for you. Maybe, I don't know, sometimes that happens because in this course, it's the first course, and sometimes people have trouble getting the hang of the course, or they decide, you know what, I can't do this right now, and then they don't post or respond. So it might be possible that you wouldn't receive a response from somebody. In that case, you want to look at responses that students made to other students, and what did they say? Maybe did something about that validate you or move you when you're thinking about it, okay? And then reflect on yourself in the large group process. I can't tell you how many times people miss this question. What did you contribute to the group? How did you engage with others in the group? Okay, that's reflecting on yourself. And then how did peer responses to your post affect you? I talked about that. So this should be about a half a page long. This would be about 1 page, okay? Half a page. Sometimes with the headings, it's 3/4 of a page, and I'm okay with that. If you use headings and you go over your page limit, I'm good. But if you go pages over, not so good. All right, then there's a reading reflection. And again, there are instructions, but I'm just going to reinforce this. The APA annotated bibliography format is for this assignment. The reference for what you're reading goes at the top of the summary, the reading reflection. And then you write the answers to the questions. There's no reference page in the process note. In everything else, yes, but not in this assignment. So you're going to use headings, or you could use the numbers. Summarize the main points of the reading. Reflect upon what the reading meant to you. Number 2. Number 3, relate the reading to practice. You might not be in practice yet. That's okay. Well, I'm going to keep this in the back of my mind, or I'm jotted down some notes, and if I were in practice, this is what I would do. This would be approximately 1 page long. And I do stick to that. If you write something less than that, I do take points off, because there needs to be enough depth that shows that you've actually done this work and that you can explain what it is that you've been reading. Okay? Title page, headings, 3 pages long, no longer than 4 pages, including the title page. Here is the grading rubric. So assignments all have grading rubrics. All right, and that takes us back to the next assignment. So this is much longer than any weekly video I will make for you, because I wanted to go over the major points of the course. All right, so here we are, week 1. I look forward to working with you. See you in the course. Bye.